Do you think this is all coming about now? Do you think this is all happening now? BNY Mellon, much like any of the institutions I've talked about in the past, they've had these infrastructures set up already to allow for custodianship, to allow for staking, and many other things within blockchain. They've had that ready for ages. Do you know how long it takes to integrate these services into the core foundation of your business? And so, as we all heard, BNY Mellon was now offering crypto services, crypto custody services. Looking a little bit deeper, it said it was just Bitcoin and Ether, which is fine, but we all know that where that leads. It doesn't just stop there. I think there's a very controlled message that's going out there right now, and that message is to control the direction of attention away from what's actually going to happen, right? Where the real value is. So the focus right now is, of course, on two just technologically ancient, old, inefficient systems, Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's where the whole focus is now for BNY Mellon. That's where they're directing the attention of the public. The public's obviously going to look there. That's just big news for the public. But for us in this community, obviously this is happening, right? And they've had these things in the works for ages. So what I want to do in this video, I don't know how long it's going to be, but enjoy it with me. I'm going to look into BNY Mellon, look a little bit deeper, see how they're actually providing those custodianship services, and if there's anything else that we might be able to get from this information to lead us to make more informed decisions later on. So first of all, let's have a look at where we are on BNY Mellon. This is the first page you get to on BNY Mellon now. This is digital assets, nice little animation. None of it's really important. But what I ended up doing was having a look through all of this information here. And really, there's not that much interesting until you get to the bit that shows some logos, right? And as soon as people show logos, what it does is, I'll tell you this for the future, it shows that they're not actually doing the service themselves. Do you remember how I talked about in yesterday's video or Monday's video, sub-custodianship? These institutions are doing sub-custodianship because, like I said, the institutions themselves don't have the technical ability and the specialism in-house to be able to deliver something like this. So they go to their partners for this. And so we come down, there we go. Now we know how you're doing it. They're using chain analysis for the analytics and security, and they're using Fireblocks. Fireblocks, that rings a bell. In fact, the other day, and I'll put the screenshot on the screen, I found an article by Fox that outlined that you needed $10 million to even be able to have custody with them. That's Fireblocks. That's where I got that screenshot. And it just all links with me now. So they are going to be leveraging multi-party computation, MPC technology that integrates with BNY Mellon systems. Integrates, okay? So they're not doing it in-house, they're outsourcing it. So what I wanted to do then was actually look at what Fireblocks was. So I came over to Fireblocks and I could see that they're working with 1,300 organizations leveraging the Fireblocks system. What I really am interested in here, which we'll look at further in the future, is the lending possibility that they have here. And they're also, interestingly, linked up there with the head of crypto at Revolut. Coincidence? Not entirely sure that is a coincidence. So when you do a little bit of searching to see what they can actually do on Fireblocks, I found on this integrations page that they were offering all these different integrations, exchanges, protocols, tokens, KYT, AML partners, crypto derivatives, DeFi, disaster recovery, fiat, staking. Okay, so Fireblocks are offering staking. How are they doing staking? Well, they're delivering that through Blockdaemon and Figment, okay? So not only do the institutions have partners to deliver the custody, but those doing the custody also have the partners to deliver the staking. This is interesting because we are, at the end of this video, going to create that pathway in your mind to show you how these things work and how they operate. So I went over to Blockdaemon, and as I'm looking around on Blockdaemon, you can see that they are pioneering institutional liquid staking, institutional grade liquid staking solution currently built for Ethereum, but we all know how those bridges are made. We know how bridges from the Ethereum network to make them interoperable. We know that's a thing, just not being shown yet. So try to look past all these things. So let's have a look. Stake and earn rewards simultaneously, instant withdrawal enabled. It's compliant. Like I said, we need regulation and insurance on all of these things. And insurance. So they actually do all of it. So while right now it's directed at Ethereum 2.0, don't think that we're limited there. This is just the beginning of all of these things. And I tend to think when the price of the most valuable assets in the world go up, then all of a sudden these staking abilities will come out of the woodworks. And so Blockdaemon is able to do staking. Also able to do staking is Figment. Staking with confidence. Remember, Figment are tied in to BNY Mellon. Okay, so Figment's one of the world's leading providers of blockchain infrastructure. The client base encompasses, get ready, over 150 institutions, including venture capital, crypto wallets, exchanges, custodians, and wealth management firms. So let's link this all back now to BNY Mellon. And let's look at the whole picture so that we can understand it. So we've got BNY Mellon that come out and say, we are now doing crypto custody services. We can read that. And now we know whenever you hear something like that, we know in this audience, that means they're probably not offering that service themselves. So how do they get from custody services when they don't provide it to all the way to me thinking that they actually are going to be providing staking across the board for institutions? As I've just shown in this video, you start by looking at their partners. Their partners are the ones offering the custodianship. Those custodianship services have their own partners that offer staking. So when you go into BNY Mellon and you say, I might give you my private keys, I might, and this is going to lead into a whole series of other videos about us becoming our own wealth managers. I'm going to play the clip in a second, but let me get there. You hand over your keys. You hand over your keys to BNY Mellon. BNY Mellon give those keys to their custodian partners. Their custodian partners either in-house start staking for them using their in-house services for staking, or they use their own partners who are more specialized in staking to give those keys to them as well. The whole thing along the process is regulated and insured and encrypted. So you can see how this works, right? You can see how they work. Just as I made the video about the other day, Barclays is doing the exact same thing. These places are no different. They have the institution, Barclays. They use their custodian service is delivered by Copper, and Copper is integrated perfectly with Flare, who would offer the staking. Now, my tendency right now is to lean towards anything to do with kind of for custodianship and Flare for staking, because if we have that kind of arrangement, I can see a day where we'll be holding our crypto on our cold storage wallet, whether you hold that in your home in a safe or you put that in actually a secure box in a bank, or there's some sort of vault system. There are plenty of those services and locations around the world. And because your XRP sits on the XRP ledger, and that Flare integrates perfectly with the XRP ledger, and that Sign would be able to integrate perfectly with Ripple as a bank, for example. This to me seems like the best outcome, where we keep possession of our keys, but get the rewards of the staking at the same time. And Sign would be there if you wanted to hand over custody to Sign, then you can absolutely do that. But it's not a necessary element of all of this. Let's roll the clip of me talking about wealth managers. You're going to have to smarten up if you're going to retire in crypto. I've just been on the phone with a wealth management company in London, because until this call, the plan was to get a wealth manager and have them handle my wealth moving forward. But that's not going to cut it. Quickly after that phone call, I realized that these wealth managers in the traditional system are not ready for what's coming. And here's a quote from the phone call. The wealth manager said, the institutions don't want to be involved with cryptocurrency at the moment. I nearly choked on my tongue when he said institutions don't want to be involved with crypto. Oh my goodness. It's literally the only thing I've seen online in my research is that institutions are already there. They've got their infrastructure in place. They literally know their partners for custody. They know the partners for staking. They know all of that already. Yes, Santander, Barclays, they will tell you that cryptocurrency is a risky investment. But on the other side, they've already made their plans, they've already got the infrastructure in place, and they're moving into crypto, not just in a small way, but it's going to run the way the financial system works. Even the wealth managers, the ones who are supposed to be responsible for managing your wealth, are only reading into what the public see. They should not be managing your wealth. You have to manage your wealth. Don't shift responsibility of this onto anyone else. Do it yourself. These guys don't know what they're doing. And that's wild, right? I talked to 2 wealth managers and they knew nothing about it. They're not ready. So we have to take these things into consideration for ourselves and become our own wealth manager. I'd be interested to see the research that you dig up too when you look at your bank. Take your bank, for example. Type your bank into Google, look for crypto custody services, follow that rabbit hole down, and share that all with me on any of my social medias. Make sure you're only following me on social media on the links that are linked below, because those are my ones. Anytime somebody tries to message you, that's not me. I'm not messaging you. That's an impersonator. Only follow the links below and you'll become scam proof. Remember, I have a free Discord channel for you to be able to join. You get access to You get access to the community there. There's also free promotions. Some free promotions for some free crypto. Also consider joining this channel as a member to get extra access to my Discord private chats, and also weekly market updates and sometimes the occasional members only live stream. Thanks for sticking around, stay emotionless, and I'll see you in the next one.